G'day guys, welcome to PBHQ Live episode number 214. I'm Dwayne Nichols and I've just got to quickly double check that button is, sweet, I'm all set up. I'm organised, I definitely plan these things in advance. Will McDonald, Susan, Rob, Tash, all joining in nice and early. Thank you for checking out the show, guys. All of you that get reminders nice and early so that you're in here at the start, I really appreciate that. Tate's in too. Thank you guys. Of course, let me know in the comments section who you are, where you are. Did you play paintball on the weekend? Did you want to play? Are you going to be playing paintball this coming weekend? All that good stuff. Throw it in the chat. And let's have a chat tonight. There's plenty of stuff to talk about from my perspective, and if you know anything happening in the paintball world, throw it in the chat and we'll kick it about for a little bit. Jesse is in as well, so thank you for joining in. Connor from PB Athlete, Brandon Miller too. Really appreciate it, guys. Paintballshop.com, major sponsor of this show, and get an ad mention at the start of every single show. And this one pertains to anybody interested in MagFed. So if it's something that you're interested in, you'll want to hear about this. Jonesy's got a special look at some new magazines that have just arrived.
Dr. James from the SMA Brothers checking in for paintballshop.com. Some great news, we've just had our order from Dye come in, so let's rip her open and see what we got. We're expecting some good things. Woo! So going in here, we've got R2s back in stock, so we've got all black. These were the last ones that Dye had, so we have these now, so if you're after an R2, give us a hoy. For all the guys getting into the MagFed, we have had 60 mags come in. Now we're doing something a little bit special with these. We're going to do them singularly, so you don't have to buy a 2-pack. And we're going to do them for $29.95 for a 20 round mag to go on your Eclipse MagFed gun. These are the DTMs made by Dye. These things are unbelievable, and they do hold 20 rounds, 10 each side, so which is pretty sweet. So if you're after a couple of mags, jump on paintballshop.com now, order them, and you can pick them up or we'll send them out to you. Cheers.
There you have it, Jonesy. I assume you did that in one take. You wouldn't re-tape up the box and cut it and go again, would you? Someone tag Jonesy. We've got to find out. Maybe he did it 30 times, but I'd like to think that he's such a professional that he filmed that in one take and put me to shame. I've been filming some stuff for Paintball and Pop Culture in the last sort of hour. I've done like 6 takes of one thing, and I can't get it right, which is why I prefer going live, because if I stuff up going live, I just keep on keeping on, and that's how it goes. Eden, Michael Burt, Pat Stokes, Paul, Troy Charlesworth is in, so thank you to all you guys joining in and checking it out. Will McDonald, so I always look for little sneaky things in the background of the paintball shop ads, and you MagFed guys, make sure you're checking those out if you're into that. R2's in stock as well, and if you go back and watch that later on, if you want to check that out, that little video, maybe Paintball Shop will upload that video as well. Just check out the huge range of Push Unite goggles that they've got in that cabinet behind Jonesy. So much stuff. If you're into Push Unites, surely you could find your preferred colorway in the background of that shot. Gladiator, I was speaking with Andy earlier today, and I was talking about how many of the rental players that come through my field are talking about Instagram now, and we both sort of agree that we probably don't use Instagram enough, and we're going to try and do a little bit more of that. So obviously you can go and follow the Project Paintball page for myself over at Instagram, but more importantly, go over and follow the Gladiator Air Tanks Instagram page. Those guys are going to be trying to post some more stuff in the next little while, so get onto Insta. Not right now, of course. You're too busy watching PBHQ. But when the show's over, head over to Instagram, go and give those guys a follow and check out all the good stuff they're doing. Not only that, but buy some of their gear too. I've mentioned it more times than I care to remember at this point, but so many of Australia's best players and teams use their products, and you should too. There's a heap of places that stock them, and they're easy to find. Just go to the Gladiator website, and they've got a whole big list there for you to check it out. Hayden Campbell is in from Christchurch in New Zealand. Mike Wybrew is in, Broderick Ward, Jordan, freshly back from Canada, Linny from New Zealand is in as well. Thank you guys. Some pretty big news, and this pertains to anyone that plays the Super Sevens, probably anyone that plays speedball around the country, really. If you've got any aspirations of being amongst the best players in this country at competitive paintball, you would probably be at some point in your career going to come across Action Paintball in Rouse Hill. And they're, as from August 9 or 10, somewhere around there, they're playing the last ever Total War on the Sunday. I think it's the 9th. And then from the 10th, Action Rouse Hill will be temporarily closed until 2021, somewhere throughout the middle of the year. They're doing a massive redevelopment. So currently where the car park is and the offices are and the pro speedball field, that general area, that's all being developed by the landowner. And all the fields sort of down where the semi-pro field and all their bushball fields, not a lot. Well, I'm not sure what's going to change down there. A lot might change. I shouldn't say that not a lot will change, but that is where majority of the fields will be going forward for the Rouse Hill site. But Action Paint will have the Yarramundi site as well, and that will be hosting future events. They've put a lot of work in out at Yarramundi recently, and I know they are continuing that. They're getting a speedball field up to scratch under lights in the next little while. The webcast is heading over that way as well. So if you're going to be, if there is a Super Sevens event or a speedball event, again, under all these weird and wonderful COVID restrictions, it will be at Yarramundi this year. It will not be at Rouse Hill. This has sort of been all pushed forward off the back of COVID. Everything, the development wasn't supposed to be going ahead until next year. But then all this craziness happened and they had to get it cracking really quickly. So up until the middle of next year, at this stage, speedball events will be at the Yarramundi venue. And I'm keen to see what they come up with and do at the Rouse Hill venue. Mike's saying all the fields are being rebuilt for 2021. So that's massive. That's, yeah, huge for the guys to be putting in the effort that they're doing. And I know they've already done it at Yarramundi. I was saying they didn't own it. No, they did not own it. And Mike is saying Sup Air event under lights. And look, at Ryan Newman joining in, there's a photo of Ryan Newman coming up in just a little bit. So yes, Masters will be at Yarra. If there is a Masters, of course, that hinges on whether the Kiwis are able to come over. So, and my field here in Wagga has been under lights. It's obviously not the full size field, but has been under lights for a little while. There's some real challenges with playing under lights and getting the lighting right. We were given some suggestions from a lot of people and used stuff over and above what they suggested, and you still find shadows and all sorts of little things. So I'm sure Mike is speaking to the right people about making it the best possible way. But yeah, as we head into the back end of the year and the days head out longer, hopefully we won't need the lights anyway. But man, it's really cool. Bill says that they're redeveloping Rouse Hill bigger and better. He can't wait. Mike says it's going to be a big job. Yeah, without doubt. I can only imagine the work that's got to go in. And on top of that, so Paintball Shop, if anyone has been there, you would be well familiar that Paintball Shop has always been within the Action Rouse Hill venue. Their display, which is quite small, but it's also one of the biggest in paintball in Australia, as far as I'm aware from the fields that I've been to that have shop setups. Paintball Shop is moving as well. It's going to McGrath's Hill, to this giant venue, and Mike in the chat might be able to tell me a little bit more, or tell you a little bit more, but it is in the same complex as a motorbike store, an Audi, a couple of other stores. Like, it's just this, to my understanding from speaking to Mike the other day, is the amount of eyes that are going to see paintballshop.com in this site compared with their previous site. I mean, just being near an Audi should sum it up alone. They're going to put paintball in front of so many people. Huge warehouse, huge store front displays as well. That will be opening in and around August somewhere, I believe. So it's it's all happening with those guys. A lot to be done in the next little while, and I'm really keen to get up there and check out, in particular, the new paintballshop.com. There's nowhere in Australia that's ever really had a dedicated retail outlet for paintball. So it's pretty groundbreaking. And if people are going to Audi to do their shopping, and if they're interested in motorbikes and that kind of thing, if they just happen to come across paintballshop.com, and then find their way into paintball. Man, epic. Really cool. Ryan's saying there's a pub as well. Oh, man, paintballers, they'll be all around there. Mike's saying, there's a BWS 80 metres down the road. Oh, dangerous. Right, some other good news in paintball. This one over in New Zealand. The Fielding Paintball Club, Dave Hopkins, he does unreal stuff in paintball. If you're not familiar with Dave's stuff, you probably haven't watched this show very often. Between him and the Expendables guys, even some of the Wellington Rebels I know, and Rebel Unit, those teams, they get together and help out on this as well. 50 kids did a kids intro to paintball out at his field on the weekend. Look at that venue, looks absolutely mint. New Zealand obviously doing quite well with COVID as well to get that happening, so great effort out there. If anyone is going to do the job of growing the sport in New Zealand, it is him. Stu Trower is in at the moment, mid-August, says Mike, for the opening. So yeah, that is really cool. And hopefully I might even plan to get up there and when I can, and maybe do a bit of a walkthrough video for everybody to check it out. What else do we have here for tonight? For the news side of things. Speaking of Dave Hopkins, he was the May prize winner as a patron of PBHQ. So he went to patreon.com/PBHQ. He did it quite a while ago, somewhere around 2 years, if I was going to guess. $5 a month, chips in to support this show. And in return for that, he has the chance of winning a bunch of prizes like everybody else. And he won the Virtue Spire 3. It's a little bit of a conflict of sponsor for him. So I'm sending it over. And that Spire 3, he's going to donate it to the Fielding Paintball Club so those kids who are being introduced into paintball have some gear to play with. I knew that would be the case the moment I drew his name, that he would be giving it away to someone else. I had no doubts whatsoever. And then Sam Comport from Ballistics Unit, his team already wears Anthrax and has for a little while, as best I'm aware. He won a Anthrax designed jersey. So what they're going to do is do a custom design, especially for him, whatever he wants, whether it's for the team, he can do something for himself. He could have a one of one if he so wished, but a jersey design from Anthrax Paintball just for being a patron of the show. And he's in at the moment. So it's awesome to have you in, Sam. Good timing too, mate. Right on time. Mike's saying do a show from there. Yeah, that might be a cool idea. I'm sure the internet would be good enough. I think we could make it happen. Carly Dwyer's in, Brad Shaw as well. Thanks for checking it out, guys. Really appreciate everyone joining in. I'm going to be speaking about Carly in just a little bit as well. Results. So the Wagga 3-man, heading into last week, we had, or I should go back maybe a little further than that. We had 10 teams interested. And then the 2 Victorian teams that Logan was sort of helping organise and had kind of keen, we pretty much put a handbrake on that pretty quickly because the things down there in Victoria were starting to get a little worse as far as COVID was concerned. That brought us down to 8. And then the Canberra guys, they had to bail as well. And then a couple of other teams, when it got really down to the crunch, the little outbreak in Canberra, we had people that were coming to the event that were working in Canberra. And then with the border closure at Albury-Wodonga only an hour away, it really just wreaked havoc on everything here, and teams were dropping like flies. Jonesy and the guys were coming down from Sydney too, and they were a little bit iffy with everything that was going on. So we just made the decision to postpone the event. We're looking towards the end of August at the moment. The good thing about it is that I get to use this photo of Will McDonald getting shot again because there is no photos from the weekend just gone. So looking at August 15, 16, or maybe 29, 30, I just have to check the calendar. And even though I'm sort of in charge of the calendar, I suppose, and I know most events that are going on, so many people have changed their plans with everything that's happened recently that I'm not 100% sure that those dates are available, but that's what I'm working on, and hopefully we can get everybody back out here for a game again soon. I'm with, you've probably seen it on the news in the last couple of days. There's obviously some COVID cases in Sydney at the moment and around the state generally. So we're just, I don't want to go off and set a date and try and get everybody keen for it again and then have something happen. So I'm probably just going to sit on that one for a week or so and see what happens. Will saying that he has to dig up some footage. Yeah, he's got plenty of footage of me getting shot. It's pretty much what happens to me all the time on the field. It's pretty much my signature move. So look, I'm not oblivious or not expecting anything that's going to come from it, Will. I totally expect the worst because I'm amongst the worst paintballers on the field whenever I'm out there. So, yeah, I mean, what else can I expect? Paul saying, count him in for the next Wagga 3-man. Stu Trower says he'll play them all. Yeah, I haven't seen Stu Trower at a paintball event in a while now. Let's get you back out to the field, Stu. Let's make that happen. Coming up this weekend in Queensland, and this is a good news story in paintball at the moment, 14 teams registered for the Queensland 3-man. It's the first speedball event of 2020. I think they've had a couple of little members' days up there at TACOPS, just west of Brisbane, but they have not had a speedball event. They were planning to right before the lockdown started back in March. So long way into the year for this to first be happening. But 10 pro teams, 4 AMS teams, really excited about that. And Troy, as a sponsor of PBHQ, good bloke too, has given me the chance to give you the first look at the field layout and get some feedback on what you think of this layout. So he did it via Guns Up. I really don't like the way that Guns Up do their layouts as far as this view, the bird's eye view, but I like to include it so everybody can check it out. And then what I do like, though, is these ones. They do a great job of their 3D modeling. And this looks like a fun field. Along that back line for a 3-man, there's probably 7 or maybe 8 potential options off the break where you can go. Even those wedges, they're quite big, fully inflated. I mean, you could run the 50 off the break. I could see some wild stuff happening out there in the 3-man. This coming weekend. I look forward to seeing some photos. I look forward to hearing about the results. I was not long ago speaking to Andrew Murphy, who a lot of people would be familiar with if you played at Top Gun Paintball at Capera back in the day in Queensland. He's going to be heading out on the weekend to check it out. Macca's got the Hostile Intentions. Some of the band is back together for the first time in over 6 years, I'm told, to play the event. So there's a first look at the 3-man layout for the Queensland 3-man at TACOPS this weekend. I think it looks good. I think it will be good fun for everybody out there. And Troy's saying on the 19th and 20th is when they're having a 5-man later in the year. If you get a bit of an itch and you scratch it this weekend and then you're looking forward to the next one, 19th and 20th of September is what you want to be checking out. What else do we have here? Next week, Daniel is saying next week you'll be saying that Benis will be winning the amateur division for the 3-man. Well, look, I hope I am for your sake, mate. Best of luck out there on the weekend. I mean, everyone can't win. That's how it works out. But if you're in here supporting the show, I'm in turn supporting your team that I know nothing about. And the amateur division, there was 4 teams, did I say? Is that right? 4 teams in the M's? Yep, there we go. 4 teams. I've got a 25% chance of being right, so don't let me down. Best of luck to you and the guys. Daniel, what else do I have to mention for tonight? Paintball content. There's a lot of it out there at the moment. Will McDonald, whilst I joke around with Will in the chat here, he's producing the collection every single Sunday. He's been uploading some pretty cool chats with the various people in and of themselves up on YouTube throughout today. Absolutely recommend you go and check those out. I've been doing paintball in pop culture. I'm working on episode 4 at the moment. It's a little bit frustrating. It's a whole new world to me putting videos together. Jessie Maiolo, who you will be familiar with from her time with Syndicate, she will be the guest judge on episode 4. If you want to go see episodes 2 and 3 featuring Jackass 3D and Community, you can do that over at my YouTube channel. I encourage you to go over and subscribe to that one. But the main reason I'm bringing up other paintball content at the moment is Down Under Paintball. Now, I don't get to catch every episode of this podcast. It is hard as the dad of a 1-year-old to find time between work and all the other things to listen to an hour of paintball content. And I know just from people watching this show, some weeks you just don't get around to it, and that is perfectly fine, but I appreciate it so much when you can. And I made special plans this week to make sure that I could listen to Ben Simpson for this episode, and I'm pretty sure that Carl is coming up next week. These guys are amongst the best handful of players in this country, without doubt, and it was a great listen. I encourage you, whether that's on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, whatever the case might be, find your way over to the Down Under page, get yourself a link to that podcast and listen. Real good insights from Ben. As I said, the guys, I think he mentions that he's got 4 fingers that don't have Super 7 series rings on them. The twins are in their early 40s, I believe now, or late 30s. And they're incredible paintballers, and I wouldn't back them out to say that they could fill up both hands with series rings. They're playing this year with Crisis, and whilst it doesn't look like there's going to be a series this year, if they keep some sort of semblance of that team together for next year, there'll be a show yet again. What Paul is saying, can I send a link to the YouTube channel? Of course, if you go to the PBHQ page, there's a bunch of links to it over the past few days for various episodes of that, but someone might be kind enough whilst I'm doing the show here to paste it in the chat for you, mate. If I had, I speak about this all the time with other webcasts that go on that have, various production people behind the scenes. I'm everybody for PBHQ. I'm the host, the production guy, the graphic designer, and everything. So if someone could do me the favor to head over to YouTube, grab that link and post it in there, that'd be epic. Connor says that he's loving paintball in pop culture. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. It's a bit of a labor of love and a bit more work going into it than I thought would be the case. Stu's saying that Ben shot him so many times. Yeah, Ben shot a lot of people a lot of times. That's why he's so good. So yeah, encourage you to listen to it. About an hour and 10 minutes. And if you watch it on YouTube, he is so diligent with filming all of their games, he and Carl, over the course of their careers, that you can go back and watch a lot of paintball be played under listening to the podcast at the same time. So I encourage you to do that. Upcoming events, Queensland 3-man. There's that photo if Ryan Newman's still in the chat from Core. That was out at the 7-man or the 10-man. I can't remember exactly which event. I think it was from the 7-man out there at Yarramundi. The Charity Cup is coming up now. This is why Stu is in the chat. He's chatting with Carly Dwyer at the moment about it. They're up to 6 or 7 teams for the event at Ultimate Paintball in the south of Sydney. It's a 5-man event. There is no entry fee. It's $100 a box of paint, and some of that money is going to a charity. So yeah, no entry fee. It's a fun day of paintball. I don't even know what the format is. Mossy did a little bit of a live video maybe a week or so ago, sort of announcing what's happening. They're just looking to get people out playing paintball. They obviously had to scrap the NXL going back 4 or 5 weeks, and that didn't happen. This is in place of that particular event. Then on August 2nd, the NXL returns to the WA for the 4th, but probably not the final leg. Spoke to Timmy Colgan. They're probably, instead of coming over east for the national finals in Victoria, which is up in the air at the moment, they're going to throw on another local event in WA. And then on August 9, the following week, Total War will be happening at Rouse Hill for the final time in 2020. Yep, that's from 7-man. Ryan is in the chat at the moment. So thank you for that. Chester's in at the moment as well. There's another paintballer that's got a YouTube channel here in Australia. Heaps of paintball content up on YouTube. I haven't probably spent enough time in the past couple of years just checking out how much stuff there is out there for everybody to watch. And if you've got something on YouTube that I'm not aware of, share it with me and I'll share it with everybody via PBHQ. This show managed to reach a lot of people every single week, and I'm happy to promote anything paintball if we're getting good paintball content out there. Birthdays, Brett, Rel, Callum, Chris Kerr, who's in the photo, and Andrew Smith from Hustle. I was going to Chris's page to see if there was any recent photos of him, and then I noticed that his, what do they call those banners at the top of your Facebook page? I don't even know. The cover image, is that right? Is an old school photo from 2014, shooting the clone GTI, big Empire gogs, the blue on blue on blue on blue on blue. Man, pretty sweet little setup that he's got there. That would have been a killer setup at the time. Really cool photo there from action. That was at a Super Sevens event. Yeah, as I said, 2014, going back some way. So that pretty cool photo that he had as his cover image. And I had to pinch that one for the show tonight. So happy birthday to everybody celebrating birthdays this week. And I just wanted to double down and mention on the giveaways. I was a little bit slack and forgot about May and had to double up and do May and June together. So they've both been done. All the giveaways, we are up to date, and the July giveaway will be done at the beginning of August. 3 custom Anthrax by PBHQ pod bags, as well as 20 pods will be going out to 3 separate winners. So pod bag and 20 pods for each of those 3 individual winners. That will be happening in just a couple of weeks' time. I know how many teams need pods and need pod bags. It is like the bane of my existence here running the guys from Asylum. If any of them are in the chat, they know exactly what I'm talking about. We happen to be the worst team when it comes to pods. I feel like we lose them more than any other team. Is anyone from Asylum in at the moment just to back me up here? They probably won't back me up. But yeah, so it's worth your while, $5 a month. You get a chance to win all those cool prizes. I've still got an Ultralight 88 down on the floor behind me from Gladiator. That'll be going out to someone in a couple of months. I'm going to get an Aculock barrel system from Field 1. That'll be going out as well. And then the big prizes, Lux A51. That's a big prize. That's worth nearly $3,000 retail. That will be going out in December. And a MacDev Prime XTS worth $2,200-ish retail will also be going out in November. So yeah, big prizes. Connor is absolutely right. I do prefer black on black on black on black when it comes to my gear. You only have to check out my mask, loader, gun, tank, just pretty well everything. Pants, yeah, footy boots. Yep, it's pretty well all black. Paul says he wants the pods. Yeah, look, they're a precious commodity in the paintball world. And Michael Nomoski says that Hustle take them. And yeah, look, they're the number one culprits, without a doubt. And Ryan Newman says he has a YouTube channel, which I've shared before, and he's got video from the 7-man where you can actually see. Let me bring that photo back up. Where is the photo? Boom, right there. There's the GoPro strapped to the barrel of his, what are those Luxes called? That's not the A51. I can't remember. Are they like a Ripper? Is that what they're called? Someone can remind me in the chat. Yeah, so there you go. That footage will be coming out when he gets that edited together. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant to say. So thank you for checking out tonight's episode of PBHQ, guys. I really appreciate everybody joining in. It is a Ripper Lux. Man, my voice is just going absolutely today. If you want to check out more paintball content, like I said, Down Under Paintball, Will McDonald's collection, Paintball in Pop Culture, all that's over on YouTube. Go and check it out. Keep enjoying your paintball content, but make sure that you share this one, and then you join me next Monday for next week's episode of PBHQ Live. All right, guys, thanks. Have a good night. Bye.